Alright, ladies and gents, today I'm going to make a video that I have been trying to find myself for a long time. I am going to be reviewing the Disciple Slayer title from Destiny 2's newest raid, Vow of the Disciple. And I tried looking for this video, couldn't find it, wanted to see people's thoughts on it, and maybe there are somewhere, but with an initial search it was a little hard. So today my goal is to break the Vow of the Disciple raid and the title chase down into a couple categories for you so you can see, is this worth my time? Should I pursue this title? Why should I? All that good stuff. So, goes without saying, I am a Disciple Slayer, got the title, not going to review it if I don't have the title. And just so you guys get background on me, I am a very casual player. I'm maybe not casual, I'm pretty casual, but I'm your average everyday player. I'm a full-time student, I got a full-time job. I don't go for all the titles, but I do go for the raid titles usually. So I don't have Enlightened, and I don't have Fatebreaker. So Vault of Glass is my only title that I have with a Master Raid in it. So, wanted to get that out of the way first, so you know what to expect. But I did do this, and we're going to go through a couple of categories, and we're going to try to keep this video very brief for you guys. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is difficulty, and this will probably be the longest segment, but all in all, if you're hesitant about this, I would say it's doable. Maybe not the easiest thing in the world, but it's doable. I did it with LFG and strictly LFG. So I maybe did a couple with a couple buddies, a couple runs with a couple of unbuddies, but other than that, all of the big triumphs I got done through LFG. Yes, even the clan night, which we jumped into Rolk, we made a clan, we all joined it, finished it. It's doable. If you got to do it through LFG, which I think is totally possible, it's feasible. And so the time it took to do this for me was about, I did the raid week 1 before reset, so that weekend, and then all the way until the last Tuesday of the season. So it took the full season. Granted, Master Mode raid didn't come out until later, but still. It took the whole season, so hopefully now it'll be sooner. You could theoretically do it in 4 weeks if you're a high enough level. And so the difficulty is mostly in, I would say, for me, it was trying to get to the level of the raid. So last season, I think it was 1580, and I was 5 under. So I was 1575, the raid was 1580. It's 1590 this season, recommended. And so if it's recommended, I think personally, obviously I did it, you can do those raids 5 below. And I even did some of the encounters on Master 6 below. And so if anyone tells you can't, most of the LFG posts will say, if you're trying to do Master, they'll say you've got to be the recommended level, which helps, but it's not impossible. So if you find the good groups and you're a little under-leveled, I definitely think you can do it. The most difficult challenges in this title was definitely Exhibition. Exhibition is the 3rd encounter of the raid, and every encounter has its own weekly rotating challenge, as well as a challenge that is always here. You can do it anytime you want, and it's explicit what it is, whereas these, you'd have to look it up online, or most people know them by now. But Exhibition's definitely the hardest one. Glyph to Glyph, not fun. Defenses down is okay, but when you do it on Master, it's definitely harder. So what I would recommend is getting all these challenges done get as many of them done at once as you can. Jump in with a full team of hunters, everyone go solar, and then try to knock out these triumphs. The triumphs are probably going to be the harder ones to find. Everyone does the challenge for the extra loot, but other than the triumph, there is no reason to do the extra secondary challenges. So just know that going in. If you are like me and you have to go through LFG, it's doable. I think it takes some patience finding teams and reposting and trying to get a team to do exactly what you want to do. If you need Glyph to Glyph, or if you need one of these more particular challenges, it can take a little bit, but I think it's worth the time you put into it. And so comparing this title to other titles like Riven's Bane and Descendant, if you want any raid title, do Descendant. It's easy. Riven's Bane is tough because it has Flawless. So Vow of the Disciple is kind of in the middle ground. You still have to do Master Mode, which is its own set of problems, but you don't need Flawless, you don't need the raid exotic, so there are some good incentives there to get this done. And so that leads me into the other part of this video, which is the raid itself. And I would say the raid itself alone, if you just like awesome things and mechanically great encounters and you want something to show off, the raid is great. Not to mention that the title is the rarest title in past seasons so far. Not including like gilded titles or things like that. It's the rarest one. You can go on Charlemagne and see that, and I'll put that in this video too. But it's the rarest title, which is awesome. And so it's one of the rarest titles that exists, and that's cool by itself. But the raid is just so fun. It's so unique. It's our first Darkness raid, a mix of Scorn and Darkness. We're actually in a pyramid. And so if you want to just dive into the raid, I would say do it. Because this is a raid I started. I wanted to do it week 1. Wanted to do it day 1, but wasn't high enough level. And I did never plan to go for the title, but it just so happened that I loved it, and I wanted to go for the title. And so definitely worth it, in my opinion. And if, most people might want to go for it for the rarity alone, which is awesome. The loot, as I'm showing now, is not really, it's kind of hit or miss. The Forbearance is freaking awesome in its Adept form. I love it. It's one of my favorite weapons. Me and my 188 kills with it. I kind of stopped playing as regularly after I got the title because I just have too much to do. But loot might not be the primary incentive. Some of it looks awesome, like the cloak for hunters if you got the regular ornament on. Some of the armor is certainly worth going for. So again, there's a whole host of things to think about, but ultimately I would say if you're interested in this raid for any reason, think about the title. I think it's doable. It's a challenge. It's definitely one of the more challenging things I've done in the game, but I think I've proved to myself as just your average player, you can do it, and it's doable. It takes a grind, but if you want to be one of the players with a really rare seal, I think it's worth it. That's not even mentioning the raid itself and all the good stuff that comes with playing the raid and having that experience day in and day out, week in and week out. So those are my thoughts on the Disciple Slayer title. I think it's great. I had a blast grinding for it, and I hope this helps inform anyone else's decision. If you're going for the titles, maybe you're like me, you only go for the ones that you really like. Hopefully this helps you narrow down your decision and to get a little bit of a glimpse into Vow of the Disciple. So that's going to do it from your Disciple Slayer. I will catch you guys next time. We'll see you later.